Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Break Room Banter.
It is a hairstylist adjacent podcast where each week
two friends
who also happen to be hairstylists
break down our weeks in the break room. I'm your host, Hunter Walden.
and I am your hostess, Ericka the Red.
And what are we talking about today?
I mean, I don't really know. Let's talk about that I survived my first week without you. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but I'm here.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're just gonna kind of catch up and actually break down our weeks in the break room, which we've never done. But there's a reason for that. So essentially, when we were getting together, our episodes were never, I felt like, at least for me, they were never genuine because we worked side by side.
Yeah.
I heard all of the stories that she was going to tell on the podcast, and not only had I heard them, I'd heard them 50 times. Right? So
it's reality of working with me.
Well, no, it's the reality of
being a hairstylist.
Yeah, you tell each client what's going on, and so then by the time we sat down to film, it was I don't know what to ask you because I know everything. I know every detail. So I'm really excited for this. If you listened, I guess, when will this come out? 2 episodes ago, we talked about the fact that I moved salons.
Mm-hmm.
And, this was my first week, technically. By the time you listen to this, I'll have been there for a month.
Yeah.
But
we're recording this at the end of week 1.
Yes. So...
Tell me all about it, Hunty. How's it been?
So I called Ericka on my first day on my first day, and I was on my way home, and she didn't answer. I'm thankful that she didn't, because then she called me back later in the day, and I ignored it. I was sleepy, in bed, but I purposefully, normally I would have answered it still. I purposefully ignored the phone call so that I was like, I'm ignoring you. Talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So day 1.
But he sent me a screenshot.
I did, and unintentionally. Well, no, intentionally, but I was sad that I sent it. So day 1, I had a record day.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had 5 people. One of those was a walk-in. And then that walk-in booked for a full highlight for this upcoming week. So...
Okay.
That's good.
That is good.
Day 2 and 3, I mean, they weren't record days. They were good days. But I have a lot of gaps in my schedule still.
Mm-hmm. Because
people would either... I mean, I don't know. Did any of my clients come in this week to Bombshells?
I did Sarah.
Sarah Helsler?
No, the blonde one. Sarah. I don't know if I want to say names. Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
I was nervous the whole time after she left, and I was like, I take it back. I don't want to do any more of Hunter's clients.
Oh, my gosh. She has the easiest haircut.
I mean, yeah, but she was like, oh, I'm sure is it weird, doing other people's clients? And I said, it kind of feels like I have to perform after Michael Jackson.
Oh, my God.
But Bethany said it looked good when she left, so I'll take that. As a win.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I didn't know who was going to come, who wasn't going to come. But yeah, after day 1, I was like, okay, whoever comes, and I'm happy and I'm grateful for it. But I'm okay if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that the price increase was enough that I don't feel scared anymore.
Yeah.
I was a little scared because as people started canceling and Marshall canceled.
Did he?
He asked me how much it was going to be, and I told him. And
is he going to see Emily?
I don't know if he's going to come back to Bombshells or if he's just going to go longer in between appointments and save for it.
You guys have such a good relationship and such a good understanding. And, like, I love how he can bring you even just, like, here's the palette I want to work with, run with it. And you always do. Like, he's always got something new, and you guys understand each other pretty well. Not that someone else couldn't do that, but that's the beauty of having a relationship with your stylist. Is like, you learn each other, and then it's easy to just be like, I'm thinking this time, and then they know exactly how to make that right for you. So
exactly, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I know that, like, we have a really good relationship, so I think he'll communicate, and if it's not, I just feel like this is the perfect opportunity for me. I have undercharged so many people. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to be like, I can't do that anymore. Because I literally can't. Yeah. Like, the salon has 3 owners. And there's one that's like a creative. There's one that's like financial backing. And then there's one that like laser focus on the numbers. And like, she would notice. And that's good for me. Like, that's a good accountability. Yeah.
Accountable, yeah.
To be like, no, this is my price. I've earned it now.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Now,
I'm sorry.
is this your first time? So I have changed salons quite a few times. I've changed salons in town. I've changed salons, obviously, from one side of the country to the other. And then I've changed salons, you know, a couple hours away. So I've kind of done every transition in the biz that you can do. So you started out somewhere at a Regis, right? And then
from there I went to like an independent,
right?
yeah.
And then you went to Jewel, right? And then from Jewel you went to Cincinnati. So that was out of state. So that wasn't like a... So when you transitioned from, you were going commission to independent, but at no point have you gone, this is your first time going from commission salon to commission salon in the same town. And not only that, but on good terms.
Yeah.
So that was probably, I'm sure there was an element to this that like, you were like, okay, I've moved salons before, but I've never experienced this.
Yeah, kind of. Not kind of, yeah.
100%,
actually, yeah. It's the first time. And like, I'm worried that clients are, because I still kind of don't fully know my prices. But I'm very afraid that I'm going to get to the front and say, like, this is what I did. And then the client gets, like, super sticker shocked and never comes back.
Yeah.
And that's a possibility.
Here's the thing. I was going to say, it will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen. But you're in an area that is affluent, and the prices wouldn't be what they are if they weren't valuable for the demographic in their business demographic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you'll be fine. Like, yes, there is going to be some rebuilding involved. But
well, and I had 4 new people get booked.
Well, and here's the other thing is you are going to have people that stay, and then they pay that, and they're like, ugh, I can't do that again. So they're either going to like go somewhere else, and then it'll either be fine or it won't be fine, and they'll come back and they'll figure out how to fix it in their budget. You know what I mean? And you're going to have people who didn't stay with you because they didn't think they could do it, but then they're going to, you know, not find someone who understands them the same way that you do. And I mean, like, there's going to be shifting of it, and it'll take a while to level, but
and
it'll be fine.
There's something that I that had been pointed out to me by like the stylist there, that they were like, they've never seen someone who is so like dedicated to their clients. To me, it sounds like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, of course I'm dedicated. These are the people that pay my bills. So, yeah, of course. But I guess the relationship that my clients and I have is quite different. And that was pointed out to me. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
So I feel like if that is the case,
Mhm.
then yeah, it's going to be great.
I mean,
It's going to be great regardless.
yeah, you're a good hairstylist. It's going to be just fine. It's going to be just
I'm
fine.
still just nervy.
Yeah.
I'm just nervy. My schedule's changing. I changed locations. I changed prices.
Yeah.
Like everything is changing all at once.
I feel like your life, it does have a lot changing right now, including like your career and, personal stuff and everything. You do have a lot changing, but you kind of have, I feel like your ducks are all in a row.
Sure.
As a human being in general in life, your ducks are pretty all in a row. You're that kind of person.
I'm so glad that it looks that way.
Shut up. I know it's that way. I know you. That doesn't mean you don't have a lot going on, but you're a very prepared person, and you're always thinking ahead, and you have a mind for that. I keep hitting this damn microphone.
We haven't recorded in a minute.
I know. I forgot how to podcast. And it is a lot, but it's all going to fall together. It's like you landed on target, and now you just got to wait for the pieces to fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
But you've done the planning, so you know kind of where they're going to fall, and you're going to be just fine. I mean, duh,
Mm-hmm.
but
well, since
you can handle it is all I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be good.
Since the episode that we talked about all the changes, it's kind of changed a little bit again.
Mm-hmm.
The house is actually like still up in the air. Yeah. So the morning
oh my God, it's like changed and then changed back and then changed back.
So the morning that we recorded that, we were told everything's good. We're moving. It's all like we're closing on this date, and everything is exactly the way that we have it planned.
Okay.
Literally the next day. No, that afternoon, actually. It changed again to where it was like, well, you'll need this amount of money at closing. And there was a certain number that we would need at closing that we could have.
And that's like what the balance in your bank account has to be, right? Or something like that. Like,
no, like there's also that.
Yeah.
But then there's also like closing costs.
Oh, okay, for this part. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just, I don't know much about this process, so I'm trying to understand.
Same.
Trying to understand.
So we had already in the contract like discussed a certain number for the sellers to pay at closing, right? Well, there was a potential that it could be a different number, like a higher number, and we would have to pay the difference.
Okay.
The difference that we were originally told, we were like, okay, it's going to be tight.
But we can do it.
But we can do that.
Yeah.
So the afternoon after we recorded, that number like tripled.
What? That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about this after the podcast, but did you already put in your notice here? We can cut this.
No, we can. Okay. We can keep it in. Yeah, we have
I'm
already
not
put
trying
our
to blast
notice.
your business.
Yeah, we've already put on our notice to vacate.
Which
on May 31st.
I believe, I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know about Tennessee, but I think like you as a tenant have the right that if you want to pull
we can revoke it.
You can revoke it.
Yeah,
okay.
Like when we got the email, it was like, "Do you want to revoke this notice?" But as you noticed, the house is being packed currently. So, essentially, if we did all of that thinking that we were good to go, this was the number, we were going to do it, all the things, right? Well, now, like, there is a possibility that we could be homeless in 2 months. And our real estate agent said that she said this to their real estate agent. She's not getting back. There's no rush, it seems like, to get an answer. Because all we need is like for the seller to say, yeah, we'll give you this much more in closing costs, which they're tripling their profit, like, or what they put into the house.
Yeah.
So to me, it sounds like a no-brainer. You want to sell this house. This is the third contract.
Yeah.
Like, of course you're going to do that, but it's been almost a week now with no answer. So there is a possibility I could be homeless by May 31st. I'm so happy.
You can come live with me in my room. You and Bradley, we can all snuggle together.
Me, Bradley, and all 8 animals.
I'll sleep on the couch and you guys can have the bed, yeah.
And that's the thing, too, is like, it's not like we can just find another place to live
with all
willy-nilly. We have so many animals.
Mm-hmm.
And we got such a good deal on
Why
this
don't
house.
you just revoke your notice here? I mean,
because if we do that and then we do get the house...
Then you're F'd in the A with no L.
Yes.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't that a beezy?
So at this point, we have to kind of decide, are we going to pull our offer, revoke our notice?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to not pull our offer?
Are they raising rent on you here?
Yeah, but not too much.
Okay.
Like it would be
your
fine.
mortgage was going to be a lot more than your rent, right?
It was going to be $1,000 more than our rent.
Yeah.
So everything inside of me is telling me we should pull the offer and revoke the notice.
Mm-hmm.
Unpack these boxes for the next year, save, credit scores higher.
You've learned a lot through this experience, you know?
And all of the money that we've put into it, minus the like inspectors, we are like it benefits.
You put it into yourself and your credit and getting yourselves in a better situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that's kind of how I felt after that whole apartment situation. I was like, okay, I was overzealous. Calm down, get your ducks in a row a little better, and try again. You know, so that's where.
And that's where my gut's at.
Yeah.
Right now is like, calm down, get your ducks in a row. We really wanted this house. We loved this house. And I've told so many people that we're buying this house. So now I'm going to have to tell so many people that this did not work out.
And you know what? If this one doesn't work out, it's because there's something better out there, you know?
Exactly. So.
As cool as this one was, there's something cooler.
Exactly. And who's to say that if we like wait a year that the prices won't drop? Like, what if we would have bought this house and then the prices drop and we're in this house for much more than it's worth?
It is an election year. You don't know. Things could go wild in the next year. It is into the 2020s. We don't know day by day what could happen.
Right.
That's valid.
And like considering it's such an old house, there's so much that needs to be done to it. Like,
well, and
the
another
possibility.
failed contractor too. They might be like, "Fucking, we'll pay you to take it."
Yeah.
You know.
Who knows?
Well, that's a lot, but it's gonna work out how it's supposed to. Whether it goes or not. I mean, I do think it's important to listen to your gut.
Yeah.
A little bit.
My gut, after I slept on it, like we talked a bit. Skylar came over last night. We talked a bit about it. And I slept on it.
Well, think about it. If you save $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 towards next year when you're ready to put down off closing costs, down payment, whatever. You know what I mean? Boom, easy.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like if we just, when we pay our rent, we pay an additional $1,000 to ourselves and high yield savings account, American Express, get all of Bradley's credit cards paid down, if not off, and we'll start in a much better position with the knowledge that we have now. Like, now we know what the process actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you remember, we thought that we were touring it with the selling agent, and
you've come so far. That's
right.
That's my point. I do think, everything happens for a reason, man. It's gonna be just fine. If it don't work out, there's a reason for it. You know.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
So, how was your first week in the salon?
Fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I mean, I took all that time off with Deacon, so it was like good to be back at work. I mean, I hate that I have to work. I wish I could just get paid to breathe, but unfortunately that does not work out that way. I did look at my numbers and I had the highest numbers for the week. It's only because you're not there. No, I'm just
Period.
And, you know,
Work.
we had meetings and one-on-ones, so Michelle wasn't working. There's that part, too. Everybody's out of town. Everyone's in Europe, and you're gone. And so I was the superstar for the week.
That's cool, though.
But, yeah, I mean, it was good. It was fine. It is what it is. We're surviving. I'll be fine.
Well, you mentioned something about my station. You were like,
oh, yeah.
that's where I was getting at with that.
Oh,
I was like, repeat it because it was funny.
And I'm like, ugh. You better clean that before Hunter gets back. He's going to be pissed if there's hair on the station. What are you doing in there? Ugh. And then I'd stole your locker so that I could be close to you. It still smells like you. Just like
the snacks that I had in there.
Smells like almonds and turkey jerky sticks. I mean, cashews, not almonds.
I was like, ew,
I'm the almond girly. You're the
nasty.
cashew man. The cashew man.
The cashew.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fine. It's like, it's weird because I lost you and now Emily's on her flippy-floppy schedule and we're opposite each other. So we only work together Wednesdays and Thursdays, you know. So it feels...
The friend group is
like
shattered.
It is shattered, yes.
Fractured.
It's just a lot of change.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting. I'll fucking be fine. I'm a grown woman. I still get to see you every once a month for record 4 podcasts in a day.
I know, and that's what's going to have to be. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then...
And scheduling podcasts is going to be so weird because, like, I have to ask you what your availability is now. I can't just look at the books.
You want me to just give you my Mango Mint login and you can just keep my books on your phone?
Well, the funny story is I still have access to it.
Do you?
I deleted the app now because I've cleared out everything that I need.
By the way,
and it's not my business.
You're still on the books at Bombshells, by the way.
With clients on there.
With a couple days, yeah, of clients on there.
Will you delete those?
Yeah,
for me?
I will.
I thought I had deleted everything. I guess I missed a couple.
Well, most days you're not, but there is a couple that you missed. And I was like, why is Hunter's on the books? I was like, Hunter's on the books. Justin's like, I know, it's tripping me out.
Yeah, just delete those for me. Because they're already on my books.
Okay.
And I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. We have a guest coming later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Well, I guess you've already heard from the guest.
Oh,
because this episode will
come out first.
No.
After
his episode.
Josh
Boynton. I actually don't know how to say his last name, but it looks like Boynton. So Boynton. So I'm going to call him that. Josh does hair on Instagram.
Yeah.
You've already listened to his episode.
Does pretty hair.
Comment, tell us what you think about the episode. Yeah, he does vivids. He specializes in vivids.
Ooh.
What?
Phone's vibrating.
Oh.
Shook the whole couch. How are you surviving without me? Do you miss me? I just told you how much I miss you. Tell me how much you miss me.
I do. I miss, like, it's just a different environment.
How is the vibe different? I mean, I know we're like pretty laid back at our spot. But.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It feels like there's a little bit of like separation between stylists at the salon.
Mm-hmm.
Like not in a bad way. Like they all like each other. It seems like.
They're just there for work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That and like, I don't know. There's stylists that have been there for like 15 years. And then there's stylists that have been there for 5 years. There's stylists that have been there for 2 years. And like, you know, some of the stylists that have been there less are more busy than some of the stylists that have been there in that middle range.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you can tell that there's some like, I don't want to say animosity because it's not anything negative.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you can
friendly
tell.
Competition?
Yes. There's like a sense of like,
I like that.
competition there that like they're just not as meshed together as the salon that we worked at Bombshells.
Yeah. Well, the majority, I do feel like, of the crew at Bombshells has been there for a long time. And then the ones that weren't, I mean, Bree was friends with the girls. So even though she's in the group of newer people,
it's all...
She was already had relationships with some of the people that have been there for a long time. So
it's like small town vibes versus city vibes.
Oh,
that's the best way I know how to explain it. Like, Bombshells is small town vibes. Like, everybody gets along. Everybody kind of meshes. It's like a big family. I hate when people say salons are family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bombshells actually kind of is.
It actually kind of is, right? Yeah. At Jewel, it's the big city vibe. Everybody's worried about themselves, which is fine.
But I understand that it's a copacetic working unit. Everyone is a cog in the wheel, not in a bad way. Everyone's crucial, but you're all there. You're doing your thing. You're doing your part to keep the machine moving, and then you go home and you have your life.
Yeah. We don't have access to book our appointments, so, like, the front desk has to do it all. That has been the biggest adjustment for me.
Yeah. I feel like I would love that.
I don't like it. Week 1, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year, I'll like it.
Well, it is a boundary that I think is good for us as stylists because it allows you to leave your work at work and have your life. Because I am not the best at, like, returning that or remembering that. You know, I try to, like, leave that boundary there, but then oops, I accidentally open the message, and then, like, you know what I mean, just stuff like that. Or I'm like, I'm with my family right now, I'm doing this, I don't want to be working. So I feel like I would love that. I do not bring in as much business from Instagram as you do, however,
right,
but that's just a shift of click the link in my bio or call the number in my bio, or, you know what I mean? Like, things like that, you know, so.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just like I don't know, like, if there's something that's booked and I know that person and I know that I need more than 15 minutes or I know that I need more than an hour, I don't have the ability to just go on my phone and extend that appointment.
Gotcha.
Or shorten the appointment. Like, sometimes I don't need 30 minutes to apply a base color. Sometimes I only need 15 minutes, and I can put something right there.
Yeah.
It's just an adjustment. Like, it's going to be an adjustment for a while. A long while.
When you step outside your comfort zone, you grow. Mama said.
That's what Mama said.
Mama said.
I did have a talk with Michelle this week. I guess someone told her that CJ was coming to work at the salon with me. And she just had, like, a moment of, like, oh, not again. Like, people are talking about how bad it was or whatever. That wasn't the case. But I think that she's never had someone that left that was, like, cool with it. And so she had a moment, a human moment, where she was like, I need to make sure that this is all clear and, like, what we had to talk about was actually real. To which I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, she saw that I was working there. She sent me a message, asked if there was an assistant position open. I said, here's the owner's phone number. That was that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she starts on Thursday. So I'm excited. My little friend's coming. She's going to be working with me again. I don't know if she's going to like it. Like, there's a possibility she won't. But if she doesn't, I was like, I love her. She's a great human. I'm not vouching for anyone. And I won't ever. And a friend of Skylar and I is the reason for that. And it also at Jewel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got her a job at Jewel, like, way back in the day. And she just left dirty. And then she left Skylar high and dry. I don't mess with her no more.
Yeah.
Like, made that very clear. Like, no, I put my neck on the line for you. You were hateful to the people that I work with and that I care about. And that's not cool with me. And then after that, you messed with one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I don't mess with you. He still talks to that person. He's been here, like I've been doing his hair, and he answered a FaceTime call, and I was not nice to her. Like, she tried to talk to me, and I was like, who is that? Why would you?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like, off the air what happened. But it's my Taurus energy. Like, if you mess with me or anyone that I care about.
Done.
Who is it? Is that a bee buzzing in my ear? I don't.
You hear something?
That's funny. I thought I had my house treated for bugs. What's going on? But yeah, I am very that way.
Good for you.
And I don't know if it's good for me or detrimental sometimes, I'm sure. But I just don't mess with that.
I mean, you could be a detrimental on either side of that, you know? Not doing it enough is detrimental. Trust me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that also doing it too much could. Because I think I've done that too. So,
same.
You know.
Definitely same.
But yeah. Well, Hunty, week 1.
Great.
Big moves.
Yep.
Big moves.
And I guess that's all we have for our catch-up episode.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to call it catch-up, like actual ketchup.
Okay.
It's our catch-up episode.
Catch-up episode.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Ericka the Redhead on Instagram, baby.
Ericka Hunter on all the things. Our podcast is Breaker and Banter Pod on all the things.
And if you'd like to find additional ways to support our podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com.
/
Breaker and Banter Pod.
Period. And always, and remember.
You always have a seat. Oh, wait, you say it.
And remember, you always have a seat at our table.
Bye.
Bye.